All right, so this is a public hearing, huh?
Yeah, first public hearing.
All right, public hearing number one.
Recognize April as Fair Housing Month, whereas in accordance with the Title 8 Fair Housing Policy of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, the Fair Housing Amendments Act of 1988, and whereas the month of April 2023 has been designated by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's Office, Fair Housing and Equal Opportunity as Fair Housing Month. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Homer hereby declares and proclaims April as Fair Housing Month in the village.
Discussion.
I think it's a great idea.
Is a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept the is the proposal or public hearing or what was it called?
We recognize April.
Recognize April as Fair Housing Month.
Recognize April as Fair Housing Month in the village.
I'll second it.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Something we do every year and it's TBD.
I know.
Good thing.
All right, kicking off the regular meeting proper. First off, moving the minutes.
I read through them. Yeah, did you find anything?
I already made my correction
So,
I'm not going to pass anything on to us, are you?
no, I think I'm beyond, well beyond contagious.
All right, let's
I had a fellow.
In that case, I'll make the motion to accept the minutes.
Oh.
Two motions or one? One motion.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay,
One's
so-
all right.
both sets of them.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, it's okay. Next up is authorization of the payment of the bills.
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills as stated.
I'll second that.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. And the treasurer's reports.
We had almost 94% of our taxes been collected. Somewhat higher in the past.
Is it?
It's been closer to 96 or 7. A couple percent, but I mean, it's still, anyhow, that's good.
That usually has been higher in the past,
Sure.
by the end of March.
Interesting. What's going on there?
Magic company, all that. I'll make a motion that we accept the treasurer's report as stated.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Let's see here. All right. Next up, cemetery reports.
I'll make a motion that we accept the cemetery report as written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous? Okay, next. Code reports.
Didn't see any issues.
But it was a busy month.
And we got a lot of open ones. I'll make a motion to accept the closed report as stated.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay. All right. Dog control.
Only one more. I make a motion that we accept the dog control report as written.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. DPW.
All I see is the mechanics report. Well,
Yeah, I think it's in the bad. No, that's water. Bill, I don't think your report made it in here.
I said it there.
I believe you did. I believe that you did.
That's your story?
Yeah, here we go.
You can tell if I'm sweating.
Well,
What are your highlights, Bill?
Started a walkable home run project. Pretty much finished the old rec building. All it's got left in there is the trim work.
It's in there, it's just out of order.
Oh, that's fine.
I know,
what else, Bill, while we thumb through here?
There, but we must.
Put you on the spot.
You got your new loader?
No, that'll be here in June, for part of June.
Did you get, you obviously you rented the little bigger. 'Cause you're
Oh, yeah.
putting it on the sidewalk. That's working okay.
The sidewalk.
Yeah, it's working well. All right, good.
Put 100 and we put in today, so.
Whoa, that's quite a bit.
Forms.
The forms, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
So what do you guys gotta do for concrete certification?
What we gotta do?
Yeah.
They have to be certified, I guess. Yeah, it's a recertification. I think they do it once a year. They come in and just make sure everything's up to par.
So for the supplier, not you.
Yes, it's not us, right? Yeah, okay.
They don't have to do a slow
Yeah, I won't
test
be able
or
to
anything
get down
like
there
that.
until Tuesday.
So, yeah, that was, so the supplier has to do a recertification, so
Yeah.
we're delayed a couple days to
Uh,
pour until the supplier gets recertified.
it's all right pouring, then it gets this cold at night.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's set up in an hour.
Oh, really?
It's,
Okay.
keep the kids off it.
So all the stuff that we have right now won't get poured until next week.
Next week, yeah. That's, it's all set in James Street right now. Right,
Did you have most of your whole crew working on it? 180 feet, sounds like you had all hands on deck.
Yeah, we about 5 guys worked on
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright.
it. Made a
Your
remote
back.
tree today. Because it, heaved the sidewalk up so bad that I just had Steve cut it and just get it right out of the way, so you never worry about that one.
That was the corner of James and,
Yeah, and, Fulton. Yep.
Very good. All right.
I'll make a motion, we accept the DBW report and just the mechanics report. You part of that?
They go together.
Yeah.
Go together, okay, that's all good to go. I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right. Your report.
That's part of it, no fires. So. You guys have to go up on Route 81 a lot.
Yep.
That's gotta be dangerous as all get out. You guys really go through, I hope, some good training and
We have
protect yourselves.
no fire police are allowed on 81 unless directed by the fire chief. We usually send a tanker up as a blocker a couple mile or so back.
No, you don't have to tell me how you do it, but just,
Yeah.
you know, you're really careful, because like that, everybody goes fast there, huh? Unfortunately, so we want to keep you safe, yeah. All right,
Ed's approval. You got it.
you're in.
We're moving on.
5 years.
Yeah.
You're okay.
I'll make a motion that we accept the fire department report.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay. Police reports.
Chief, with the cameras, is it the cameras or the camera covers?
Cameras.
Oh, okay.
They just,
Well, they're 5 years old.
yeah, it's been a while, they paid for themselves, so
Yeah.
it's not like it's a cost kind of thing, because.
No, I was just curious.
I
I
think-
think talked about the camera covers before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Covers, yeah.
Yeah, we thought it was the covers. We cleaned them and it's like a, well, the plexiglass is just kind of baked down over the years with the sun.
I'm gonna guess the cameras are better today than what they had 5 years ago, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I just want to say, I think that you take a little extra time writing this long paragraph about the Ford.
Well, funny you should mention that.
Yeah.
We brought that vehicle back last Thursday. They sent me Kevin down there. I said, I'll see you next week. I lasted not even a day. The check engine light came back on.
Really?
So he's never seen this code before.
I think it's time to send that one down the road. Sometimes you get lemons, man.
Yep.
I had a lemon truck once and just everything went wrong.
Now, well,
Yeah, I had a Jeep
I
like.
can't remember.
Yeah, brand new Jeep right off the lot, 7
Yeah.
miles. The radio crapped out, the air conditioning broke, the mirror fell off the windshield. The spring on the door broke, the motor on the back windshield died.
You made it Monday morning after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
rolling.
I ended up selling it for $300. So,
A brand new car?
no, I fixed it, you know, like the hydraulic clutch went out on it. Yeah, it was a lemon. The little thing in the center, the spring broke, I mean, had to fix the seat.
So this is still 125 that's giving you the trouble? Does it still smell like gas?
A little bit.
Might be a leak or something.
Not, yeah, not as bad as that. It's got outside Doty's for about a week and a half, 2 weeks,
How old is this car?
2020. So we got 33,000 miles.
2020, it must be, is it the next to go? Is it the next one in line? No, there's one ahead of it still.
They need to bump out.
Wonder if a rock or something came up.
Get a couple of electric cars to replace it. I think the village is small enough that we could do like a souped up golf cart for you. Right?
I think so.
There's no mercy.
You can't fix my car's night. Why you gonna fix it?
Damn.
Touche.
All
All right,
right.
I'll make a motion, we accept the police reporters.
Well, is there anything else you want to add, Chief, while you got you here? Grace with your presence.
I see we got National Night Out stuff for August 1st, and then, Magic on Main on August 18th. And we're gonna have Brockway show
Yeah.
in between there.
And you guys are selected for.
Don't
the-
go anywhere in
yeah.
August, I guess. Is what you're telling me.
July and August, it's gonna be busy.
And Chief, congratulations on winning the wing eating contest, and the $496, which is well over half of what was raised, is to you. So that was awesome.
And he extracted the money out of me already.
Yeah.
There you go.
And just a reminder, during the summer months approaching, if you have a garage, please close the overhead door and lock the doors to your vehicles to keep valuables in the and do not keep valuables in your vehicle to prevent anyone from stealing them.
Thank you.
Public service announcement.
Thank you.
I had people walking through my backyard, so yeah, it's everywhere.
I did too today.
I made a motion that we accept the police report.
I'll second.
Okay.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, here we go. We're back on track. Oh, rec department, Zachary.
I think Zach has updates on the concert series.
Zach,
Yeah.
update. Concert series.
It's all done. I heard back from Chris. We're just deciding whether we're gonna go with 9 concerts or 10 concerts this year. So it's either +1 or +2 on the schedule. So that's pretty exciting. Backstop at Griggs is all done. There's some hay over there to fix the grass, but looks great. Long overdue. Not Griggs, I meant Kaleo. Take a look if you swing by sometime. I don't have my report in front of me, so if you got any questions, feel free to shoot them my
What
way.
are the 3 concerts that you added?
Well, so we're that it's up in the air. So I just heard back from Chris. He said he's happy to work with us again. So we just have to nail down the type of concert we're looking for. If we go with 10 concerts, it'll be more of a solo show. For 2 of them. If we go with 9 concerts, the concept was maybe it'll be more of a band kind of a concert. So, but I don't have the details locked down yet for those.
All right,
But
excellent.
How'd the Easter parade go?
parade was good. Didn't hand out as much candy as we were expecting afterwards, but no, the parade was great. Fire department, police department were great, nice and slow around the village. A lot of kids out. It was good. Everything was nice. It's a quiet Saturday.
Excellent.
Make a motion that we accept the rec report as written.
I'll second that.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, water and sewer.
All right, here's the quiz. UFTO.
It's just big same stuff.
Oh,
The markup.
marked out UFTOs, and I went, the hell's a UFTO? Under frame purchase order, I don't know. You understand, yeah. All right.
You get excited, Keith, to have your name at the top of this report.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know you are.
Only got put 51 years in now, but
Yeah.
More.
more than fun.
So, we have a new hire.
Yes, he starts tomorrow morning.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Interview process was great, a lot of great candidates, and I think we really got the two best, so.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Hopefully they will.
I'll make a motion to accept the water and sewer report.
Give me anything for that?
Just new, kind of new business, but
Oh, new business. Oh, wait a minute.
yeah, that's fine.
All right, you made a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, privilege of the floor. Look around, I see Fred.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
We've got you.
Okay. Not a lot. Hell, there's going to be a combined town and planning board meeting next week, Wednesday at 6 o'clock. That's open for public comment. And I got back the when I talked to you on the phone about Randy Crawford and his proposals.
Yes, sir.
Since I've talked to you, he got back to me with the prices, and it's 51,000 if we own the plans and 77,000 if the bid goes forward and things are built. So at least I've got some figures in front of me now. You know, and in respect to the total amount that I shared with my board, which was anywhere from $1,150,000 to $1,250,000. You know, it's only, even the 77 is only about 6%. So they're awful big numbers, but in comparison. So, but I've obviously not had time to bring that in front of my board yet.
Sure. Sure. I still think that we can probably get some of the DRI money for that, and also definitely the shared service stuff, so.
I know that you shared a lot of things with me, and so it's a matter of getting it with my board and moving forward. So, but those were the two main issues that I had.
Fred, the joint meeting next Wednesday, that's on the billboard discussion, correct?
That's correct. And to your question, Pat, it's not a public hearing. There's really nothing to have a public hearing for, because there's no law proposed. There's nothing that's been written. Well, Mr. Williams provided one to the board, but you know, we're a ways off from a public hearing on that yet. And this is mainly just so that concerned citizens are able to voice their opinion. And the way it's set right now, it's set from 6 to 9 if it were to take that long, and there'll be a 3-minute speaking chance for each one, but they have to register either that evening or with the town clerks before that, and then we will go in order of how they're registered. So, but Mike McMahon will chair the meeting.
Oh, that's good.
So that's, but yes, that's what it's for, Pat.
Very good. Anything else, Fred? Thank you, Fred. Anything else?
No, I appreciate the privilege of the floor again, and I may listen for a while like I did last time.
Anytime. You stay as long as you like. All right, next up, old business, new business. Approve waiving community garden lease fees for Jane Hall who's growing food for the food bank.
We've done it at least last year. I don't know if we've done it 2 years in a row, but we've done this before, so
I'm all for it.
I make a motion that we waive the community garden lease fee for Jane Hall.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous? Very good. All right, ooh, look at this, new fire department election results.
Who's this new chief?
All right, the election results, fire chief Jay Riley, deputy chief Doug Van Etten, first assistant chief Nate Stockwin, second assistant chief Jeremy Barber, rescue captain Adam Burhans, rescue lieutenant Amy Borst, president Tim Maxon, vice president to be determined, although it says Nate on here, but secretary Dickie Elmer, treasurer Randy McKay. And the fire police members, Paul Coolidge, Rich Dickie Elmer, Gordon Ivory, Paula Fever, Heather Martin, Tim Maxon, Gary McEwen, Randy McKay, Don Mudge, Andrew Patterson, and Matt Perry.
I make a motion that we approve the fire department election slate.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Results.
Congratulations again.
Let me amend that to
Yeah,
results.
results, yeah. Congratulations again, chief. All in favor?
Aye.
That's almost one more, just one more thing. It's always one more thing, man. All right, approve the budget adjustments, 23-24.
Went through them today and they looked okay to me, so I'll make the motion that we accept the budget adjustment.
I'll second it.
Discussion? All in favor? All right. Okay, so we're gonna approve the proclamation that Pat presented to the fire department.
And Kevin.
And Kevin, Pat and Kevin, so the fire department.
They looked, everybody.
Yeah,
looked
thank
great.
you for going. So, Dan, you wanna read this one?
More than happy to. Whereas the Homer Fire Department was originally organized April 10th, 1873 through the Chiefnehoga Steamer Company and Triumph Hose Company number 1. Whereas the first Homer Fire Department station was built for $2,100 on James Street on a piece of vacant land purchased for $285. Whereas the first Homer Fire Department fire truck, Brockway, was purchased in 1920. Whereas 2 additional companies are now part of the Homer Fire Department, Chiefnehoga Hose Company number 2 and West Side Company number 3. Whereas the official Homer Fire Station has been located at 45 South Main Street, Homer, New York, since 1941, built for $58,000. Whereas current coverage includes the Village of Homer, Town of Homer, and Town of Scott, as well as Cortland County and surrounding fire districts through mutual aid agreements. Whereas the Homer Fire Department has protected and served the citizens of the Village of Homer and the surrounding fire districts since 1873 with honor and integrity. And whereas the Homer Fire Department is celebrating 150 years of existence for the Village of Homer and the surrounding fire districts and their citizens. Now, therefore, the Village of Homer does hereby recognize the 150th anniversary of the Homer Fire Department. Encouraged to help us celebrate the role the Homer Fire Department has played in our community's history by recognizing April 10th as Homer Fire Department Day. On behalf of our community, we honor the men and women who bravely served our residents in the past and those who continue to uphold that legacy of service today.
Excellent. Give a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the fire department 150th proclamation. Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent.
All right. Next up, accept the New York State Quick Start Grants. Thank you for doing this, Pat, by the way.
Well, for everybody, this was the $1,000 to help us with the Earn Tree City USA. We won, so now we get to spend the money as soon as. Hey, Tammy, has the check come in yet?
Yeah. I think she said it did.
We get the first 500, then after we complete and send everything in, we'll get the second 500.
Excellent. Right, with a motion,
I'll make a motion that we, that the award. And the award.
discussion? All in favor?
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Let's see here. Next up, approve the Arbor Day proclamation.
I've been doing my radio,
What now?
DG voice pretty good. Tonight, I'm doing my radio. voice. I don't know, Pat, did you want to do it?
No, I didn't get a copy of it, so go ahead.
Okay.
Oh. Perfect, thank you.
Houston, USA, official proclamation. Whereas in 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees can be a solution to combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing a habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Darren Helm Kayan, Mayor of the Village of Homer, do hereby proclaim April 29th, 2023 as Arbor Day in the Village of Homer. And I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations.
I'll make a motion that we accept the and approve the Arbor Day proclamation. Second.
There's a little area you can sign.
Discussion. All right, let me assign this one and give it to you. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's, I got one. I want to push first head with, yeah, let's get out there and gladden some hearts. All right. Next up, approve mortgage release for 9 through 11 Northwest Street.
Boy, I don't know. Pretty shaky place. And there's been a lot of,
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the mortgage release for 9 through 11 Northwest Street.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? One abstention.
One abstention.
Okay. Next up, approve water and sewer credit request.
they seem to be in accordance with our policy, so I'll make a motion that we accept the adjustments.
I'll second that.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next up is to approve the climbing falls and height policy for the village.
Thank you, Al Silver. Anybody know who that is?
Nope.
Is that the?
That was the
scaffold?
senator, the scaffold law in New
Uh,
York City. He said even if you're drunk and you fall off a ladder, whoever fired you is still liable, no matter how incompetent you were.
they tried
Unbelievable.
every single year. They tried hard to change the scaffold law in Albany, and every year they fail.
Make a motion that we accept the climbing falls and height policy.
Second.
And it makes sense for
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay. All right, approve lease with John Miller. Working for the parking lot.
Yeah. Then there's another one coming up for the 9 years.
Yep.
This is something we've done every year or every 2 years, is it?
Since we, had that whole parking thing.
I'll make a motion that we accept the leases, so save it.
Second it.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Next up, approve lease with Dwayne Block Building LLC.
That's the same thing.
Same thing, I'll make the motion, we accept the legal stated.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay. Approve reserve transfer.
These are items that have.
So these are all leftover funds that were supposed to be moved over for projects. You'll see the signs, pay for all of those signs that we have for the First Amendment audit. and all the other ones required for all the grants and the exit signs and the compliance and the do not, like the hazard signs. The recreation reserves was for the pants that have to be spent by April 30th. The economic development was the 20,000 remaining for the comp plan, but then we received a grant, so it goes to economic development, and that we use the hair, as you see. And then the excess fire department was split. The first 5,000 went to PP&E, then 10% goes to the remainder of PP&E. 20% was truck repairs and 70% was truck replacement, as was approved back in February.
All right. Very good.
I'll make a motion, we accept the reserve transfers as stated.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, okay. Through D. Ames Linen contracts.
I don't know who else would do it if you didn't.
Looks black and white. I'll make a motion to accept the contracts.
I'll second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right. Okay. Let's see. Approve rentals to go contract for various festivals in the village.
So most of the festivals don't need as many as the Brockway. So this is per festival. It's actually lower than we spent last year. However, we have some new festivals in the village. There's a fire department 150th anniversary in there, and Magic on Main came back. So right now the placements are all at the green, and then the person that's managing it will like redirect some of the porta johns over to where the DM3 building is. And I've already talked to them. The Brockway needed more, and so it's the same as last year, but one set of 3 male, female, and unisex handicaps will be over by one of the banks.
Got it. That's good.
You kind of have to have it. I'll make the motion, we accept the bid as
I'll second it.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Approve applying for Cortland Works Career Center summer positions placement.
I didn't quite understand this.
So what happens is Cortland County has a federal grant that every year they pay for students they could be all the way up to 24, so they could be college kids. And they'll come and mow if they're placed in the DPW or cemetery, and they pay them and they pay all the insurance. All we do is manage them. In the office, one would be split between the office and in the fire department, because they have a lot of files they want to scan for their new software, and the county will pay for them to come in and do it. If we get any placements.
Great.
The only other placement in Homer is the Center for Arts, so a lot of people just couldn't be placed in Homer last year because nobody was willing to do it.
It started off looking like they were looking for space, like a warehouse. So, but what the way you
No, yeah, it's
where
job descriptions, and Jay met with me to actually do the fire department to get a kid for like a clerk there to scan and help set up the files. So it's like 20 to 25 hours, and
doesn't cost us anything, and we get help. So it's a win-win. I'll make a proposal that we accept it.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right. Next up, appoint Lucas Sweeten to full-time laborer position for the DPW.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Appoint Zarian Rosado to full-time laborer position in the Newton Waterworks Department.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Actually, Xavier.
Xavier?
Xavier.
With a B. Okay, Xavier.
No water.
You have anything else, Keith?
Well, I just wanted to tell you what was going on with the sewer up to Origins there. I had to have Ed come in.
Right.
We dug down to, well, we had to have him come in because everybody was going to a water course on Friday, so I didn't want to leave that,
Right,
the way it was, so. We got down there and, or the state catch basin was right there, and I feel that they hit the sewer line when they put that catch basin in years ago.
right.
It's the only explanation. I've got pictures of it. So we got that taken care of, and, we had to do a lot of, flushing. Get the rocks and the gravel out, which, we chased it quite a ways, but, it ends up down at Clinton Street Pump Station, so. I mean, and that's one of the pump stations we can't suck out, we can't reach the bottom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's 30 feet in the ground, or what, 33 feet in the ground.
All right.
But we got that taken care of. The other thing, the IGA service line. We're gonna have to, there's a part of the concrete that's a small piece. It's a rectangle, so I think we can cut that out on the marks, where it was poured, and, we can pull that up. Cause the stem must have broke the power key off the curb stop, so once we can get that shut off, we can tell if it's on us or on him, but
Right,
I mean, it could be right there at the curb stop. I don't know until we get down there, but we're gonna have to have it blocked off down there when we do it. And one of the boys was having a corner, and we went there about half an hour this morning trying to get it shut off. And they were already, listening to 7:30 in the morning, they're already said we were bothered with business, so I don't know.
so Rob come out and yell at you or something?
I didn't, I had to go back and shop and get some, and.
Can you guys work at night with lights? Do we have lights?
Prefer not to, but.
Well, yeah, I understand. Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, we got lights and stuff, but it's a lot easier during the day. I mean, emergencies, when we have water main break, we gotta work.
Yeah.
at night, but
Are we gonna have to shut down part of Main Street right in front?
well, just the parking, pretty much, and, well, I think, since we got that little mini. And I wanna do this next week.
Yeah,
We can get that concrete out of there, which we can get that out anytime real quick, like, and then barricade it off. And, cause it's not in the middle of the sidewalk, it's on the edge, right on the curb and not in. We
So
get it
there's a
all
leak
ready.
going on right now, right?
Yeah, and most of it we can suck out with the back truck, but that,
But it's leaking, so I say go for it.
yeah, I mean, something's leaking
You
there.
gotta fix it.
We gotta be
You
able to-
can't be waiting.
We gotta be able to turn the curb stop off and tell which side it's on.
I got a question. 281 and Clinton, they're gonna put a roundabout in. You just said there's a state catch basin there. Is that gonna be buried under the
No,
roundabout?
it's below Origins, towards ice cream, just below Origins.
Okay, so that won't be part of the roundabout
Right.
thing.
And we also had to dig out the stone at the ice cream where the picnic tables are. We had to move all the picnic tables. Dig that stone out because the sewer all went down there. So we dug it out and got a load of stone and put back in there for them, so.
I'm sure they appreciated that.
It's shit. So, but it was fun, right? Then the other thing that I got is North Main, I'm changing direction on that a little bit. I'm trying to get a price, which I think it's gonna be a lot cheaper to come across, bore underneath the road, because there's only 5 services. We can book, because the 8-inch water main is on the other side of the road, which is actually a newer water line, which new 95.
Right,
But we're gonna hook into that and come across.
okay,
And, I talked to Bonds back, and they said that they would supply, that orange, they put the fiber optic in.
Mhm.
They would sleeve it with that because they got scrap of that, sleeve the water line, and bore it big enough so we can sleeve it. And, but I'm waiting for a price from them, which I don't know if I'll have to have it bid out or not. I don't know how much, if there's a limit on what you can spend before you bid it out or anything, or
I think it's
2,500.
2,500, yeah.
I think it's
Yeah, it's gonna be more than
$2,500.
that.
Yeah.
He was talking and thought like $1,500 to $1,700 a service, so 5 times just say 5 times 2,000 is cheaper than, what we're planning on if we run the new water lines.
Right. Okay,
Then the other thing is just 81 water line, we're still working on that. Having troubles figuring out who owns what down there, so that might take a while, because, Albany International owns this way and 81 the state owns, so we gotta get, we gotta get it all in order before we can proceed, but now I still want to do soil samples down there if we want, Chris. We like to use plastic, but anytime we've had a water main break down there, when you dig in there, you smell something, petroleum or something.
Huh.
It stinks, and I asked about the pollution, and they said they tested up there and it's not up there, so. But I found out that you're going down through there, you go underneath the overpass and right to the right where that grass is,
yeah,
there used to be a big gas station there back in the day. A
Oh.
long time ago. So,
That was Roy's, I think.
yeah, I don't remember it. But, we do, we gotta, because there are some products that can go through the plastic or eventually
sure,
might take years, but,
Maybe you wanna go with.
well, if we do soil samples, we'll have to send them to the company that handles the plastic water line, and have them tell us.
Oh, right.
But, because plastic and ductile, it's just,
yeah,
the price difference is just crazy.
is it,
Yeah, I mean, ductile is just outrageous. And they're talking 7-8 months even once you order it to get it.
Wow.
So, but I'm working on it, but you know how things go, it just goes slow.
yeah, you think it's gonna go slow and then it goes even slower.
Right.
That's all right.
The new guy, Davian there, there is planned in June for both of them, Lucas and him, to go to the water class, so
Oh, good,
we've gotta do some. Lucas has gotta come up and we've gotta go through them with the water and, teach them some stuff before they. They have never been exposed to anything, and you can't just throw them in, kind of like we did to Devin. He failed the test, a few times before he got it, but, it costs a lot of money to send him to that class, and a lot of time, it's a week, so.
yeah. Yeah,
So I'd like to see him, succeed
Pass it,
when they,
yeah.
go down there for it, but other than that, we can wait till September, which, but it's too late now, I think she already paid for it. So
no, throw it in, let's go. Right,
I warned them, that it was gonna be fast paced, so.
yeah, that's all right. So
They're young, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll pick it.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's all I got.
I appreciate that. All right, I think we've come to the end of our agenda.
Well, while we got Phil here, we have an issue with the people putting brush out.
Oh, okay.
They already are, yeah.
Yeah, but we said we weren't starting to pick it up until May.
Yeah, this is another thing. I know that we've had some complaints, but it used to be 2 weeks in the spring and 2 weeks in the fall. We're doing a month in the spring and a month in the fall, so people need to just abide by the rules and wait, and don't put it out until May. When you put it out, with the branches facing the same way, what else? What else do we need to know? Separate the leaves from the branches.
Yeah, just keep the garden mat or leaves all in one pile, you can mix them, but just leave the branches separate.
Those talk, Phil, because you got 3 days.
Yeah.
Then they
Three
originally
open days
planned
this week, so.
for sidewalks, but now that they got the time.
Yeah.
That they would go through and just grab what is there now to keep it from blowing all over the place. Key thing is for everybody not to put any more out, right? And we're getting people that are saying, well, I see my neighbors doing it and you picked it up. Well, this is a one time just to try to keep the village.
Yeah, compost site is open, bring it down there yourself.
Hey guys, if you can have them call the office by like afternoon Thursday, we'll make sure they're on their list for Friday.
So
All right.
Do that, I don't expect that.
So,
That way someone isn't forgotten.
Right,
then the other thing is, some folks are starting to get lax about bringing in their garbage cans. You know, you put it out no sooner than 24 hours before, and you gotta put them back no later than 24 hours after. And we do have a fee fine schedule for it. Obviously, that's never what we want to do. However, if people want to be insistent upon being rude to their neighbors, then we'll have to implement it.
that's right. We will find you. All right. Anything else there? Well, you've got other things I know. First, Dante, do you have anything?
I'm saving my voice for executive session, so.
I don't blame you. Okay. Comments by board members, Edward.
The comment on the LRIP, so we're looking pretty good there, so we're gonna get 10 points because it's all done, it's not officially signed, but that means the local waterfront revitalization plan, LRIP. And you get 10 points towards your grants, and that's gonna help Dan when he turns in what we call the CFA, Consolidated Funding Assessment or something. Application. So that's when you apply for all grants for all kinds of things for the village one time. So we have maybe those June 30th. So we have time. So we put in all the grant requests, and I assume the fire department and everybody else does the same kind of thing to turn in grants. But that's 10 points. So that could really help towards our river trail. Over.
All right.
Dan, question?
Yeah,
I've got a contact that they gave me, the health department. They said New York State has billions of dollars for water. Stuff. And
yeah, the
they said to get, like the water tank, we're pretty much ready for that with B&L, right? I mean,
yeah, we're ready.
so they said if you're shovel ready, that could be submitted.
Yeah, I mean, we submitted that to water tank with many different grant
I know.
applications, so.
Yeah, I know, I got the contact.
I already plan on doing it this.
Is there
Send
a
them the
contact that we should be,
Well, Keith's got it. That's what he said.
Yeah,
I should be talking to that contact to say, look for it? I got, they don't look for it.
When they were up there we got our sanitary evaluation, and they brought two guys from the state. And, then we were talking to them, and they said, there's billions of dollars out there to be had.
There is,
You
but
just
they're not,
gotta have your projects.
they're not giving it out. That's the big, at NICOM, that's everyone's complaint is they keep adding money to this fund, but no one can get any money out of it. No one's getting anything approved.
So is it a slush fund for
We don't want to say that, but
I will.
It looks like New York State has got slush funds.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let us know who it is. Maybe some of us can call them or something.
But yeah,
Heads up.
we might as well, because we've
Let
got
them know
the,
what's coming.
we've got the salt shed and
Email me the contact too.
honestly, the other thing that we probably ought to start looking at is the chlorination.
Oh, yeah, I thought you wanted to change that. That ought to be something.
Well, I think we'll look into it in a few years, but
Yeah,
we just bought a new chlorination pump or the booster pump, and then bought new scales for the tanks, so we're all right with it, but eventually I think they're gonna phase it out.
right.
Oh, if they force you to phase it out, that means they'll probably help us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in
If they
theory.
force you.
I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
Yeah, we have,
Hashtag unfunded mandates.
Yeah, they're good at that.
yeah, we put quite a bit of, not, I wouldn't say a lot of money, a couple thousand into the system right now.
Right.
Pump 3, so I'd hate to switch
Yeah.
them up now.
Every couple thousand is tax money, so thank you for trying to save it. Make it. go
Last time,
as
I
long as
don't
you
like
can.
to spend money.
Well, thank you.
All right, Elizabeth, any comments?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Mr. Slack.
This is in regards to the LED things that I've talked with, Ty and, the Legion, and then I've talked to Jay, who just left, the fire station. And I had a little conversation with Stuart and kind of, he's the one that originated the whole thing there. And I talked with him a little bit about, because where the sign is now, the dilapidated one, it's on the property that belongs to the Brewster House.
Right.
So we talked a little bit about the possibility of maybe the Brewster House using it as well as the fire station, if they get permission to put it where it is now. It's a possibility.
Interesting idea.
I thought it was pretty cool. What about the schools? Are they interested at all in?
Well, they have not indicated interest, but I can guarantee you that at least the high school is probably gonna want to.
Yeah.
But they're again in an area that the high school would be fine, right? 'Cause
It's not in the historic district and it wouldn't
Yeah.
upset anyone. My line of thinking was if we, found a company that could satisfy everybody's needs and we bought 7 signs instead of 3.
Yeah,
That they could save the village fund that way.
I agree with you on that for sure. Yep.
And then as far as the welcome to Homer signs go, this pertains to you because you were curious about the price of the gold leaf.
Oh, it's thousands,
It is.
probably 20.
So I talked with Jimmy Marsh
Uh-huh.
because he does all that kind of stuff. So he said it would take about 6 boxes of that gold leaf lettering because it's like thinner than tissue paper.
Yeah.
You guys are real
Very thin, yeah.
$2,500 a box. And it would take 6 boxes to do all of it. Yeah, so, I mean, you can do the math on it. Versus a yellow paint or a gold, something similar to
But that only lasted 2 years.
Well, I don't think it was really a matter that it lasted. I think it was a matter that it was just too dark and it just didn't.
I don't think the gold paint can be that bright, can it?
There's gotta be some other.
Well, also, he said that the gold leaf lettering is really, really labor intensive.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it takes
You gotta push it on and rub it and all that. Oh, yeah.
a lot more than that as well. So you're figuring
You gotta burnish.
the amount of dollars that it costs, plus the labor would probably be pretty close to that.
Yeah, that sounds like,
So- And
You gotta take into account, it can maybe screwing up one too and having to buy.
Yeah. I mean, there is. And from what I understand, the amount of money we got from selling the old signs was 400 that we put into repairs, but that doesn't even touch what we're gonna have to spend.
Sounds like we'll just repaint it.
That's my point of view. I mean, we'll have to.
40,000
as a
Paid
board.
35,000 for those signs as it was. They were $3,500 a piece. Or something.
we get more than that.
I think they were, I think. we
Get
were
more like
close-
$6,000.
Yeah, I think we were closer to 50
Wow.
between all 5.
That's around 47.
47.
I think something got lost in that transaction was there's
Router. and-
going back between gold leaf and what was initially put on.
Would have had a
You
router.
can do a paint, we'll just call it paint, and there's
See, router.
machine you can put over top of it that keeps it maybe even bright, but at least protected for a while. Now, of course, when it does start to fade, it's a little more of a bigger process to clean all that out, to repaint. You gotta get rid of the top coat. But that's that was something that company offered to do. It was gonna be still more money, but it wasn't gonna be gold leaf. So it's something to think about rather than just repainting. You wanna do a top coat on top of it to preserve it for at least a little while longer.
I think something else we had talked about before was better illumination.
Yeah.
I know, Phil, you had one down there and.
That's what I was gonna get to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go-
No, it's stealing his thunder.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Stealing
I
his-
got enough to talk about later.
Well, me and Pat were talking about this earlier, that instead of maybe going from the ground up, put the lights on top of the sign, and then shine down, might illuminate it better.
I think so.
Bars, yeah.
I think so. And it would,
LED with a little solar panel maybe.
well, then when it's up, if it's up on top, aiming down, then the solar panels up there, you don't have to worry about it getting buried in the snow and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and you have to move it to mow around it. That's a good idea. they make so many different solar LED light things. Well, it can definitely be found. So
I'll look at the ones we got and just see if we can modify them to actually work on it.
Super.
however you guys want to do it.
So that's what I've.
Another rainy day project.
Thank you very much, Kevin. I appreciate it. I like you in retirement, man. All right, Pat, what do you got?
Well, first, I'm gonna start off with some good news. Is that I'd like to congratulate Tanya as our employee of the month. We had like 6 department heads all nominate her. And really, it's well deserved. I mean, she's been extremely instrumental in helping I think everybody can say that she's helped them out at one point or another at various times.
Yeah.
And they wanted to recognize her for her outstanding
That's
work.
fantastic. Congratulations.
Baggy candy.
You want another one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? No, yeah, she can have bag candy.
Fire department's not here, but Tanya and I and some of the other fire did sit in on a presentation from Penflex. And it's dealing with a possible retirement system for our volunteers to help with recruiting and retention.
Right.
So they're doing some more research on that. The initial thing is there's 2 different systems, a defined contribution and a benefit. And there's pros and cons to each one, but they're doing preliminary on that. And so we can expect to see and hear more about that later.
Let's talk about Hannah Ave.
Well, I'm getting to that.
Okay, that's
So Fred didn't mention, but they're going to be working on the stairs to the balcony on the 1st floor. So that's mostly for our office staff. They will be closing on Juneteenth. We have that as a floating holiday, so
right.
We'll be open. And then at the meeting, Kelly Preston was giving an update on the county stuff to the town, and for everybody, she is not running for re-election this year. And then the last thing I have is, so there was some issues with parking along Hannum Avenue and some of the residents in the Center for the Arts. And one of the proposed solutions was right now there's no parking on the north side of Hannum. A proposed solution was that, okay, we'll just make no parking on the south side of Hannum. That went out to the residents and they have let us know in no uncertain terms. They sent a petition. I'm going to read it in for the record. Just to the mayor and board of the village of Homer, we, the undersigned residents of Hannum Avenue, are writing to express our concern in opposition to the recent decision to restrict parking on Hannum Ave without consulting the residents. Most of us already face limited parking space on our own properties. With the new parking restrictions on Hannum Avenue, it will become increasingly difficult to accommodate visitors, especially those with mobility impairments. This is a serious concern for us as we value the comfort and accessibility of our guests. We understand the need for the village of Homer to regulate parking in the interest of public safety. However, the lack of consultation with residents has resulted in a decision that is causing inconvenience and hardship to us. We therefore urge the village of Homer to take immediate action to revoke the decision to restrict parking on Hannum Avenue, consult the residents before making any changes to parking regulations in the future, and consider the impact of parking restrictions on residents with limited parking spaces, especially those who require accessible parking for their visitors. We hope that the village of Homer will take our concerns seriously and work towards a resolution that is in the best interests of all the residents, and it's signed by many, if not all, the residents of Hannum Avenue. So something that had been proposed as a solution got ahead of itself.
Yeah, I don't remember us saying that we were gonna do that.
We were
just an idea.
Yeah, we're kicking
That's
it around.
okay.
Well, what happened is, we had asked Bill to do an inventory of what signs we had. And they did mark out possible locations for the signs. And so although we hadn't approved it, it was the fear that we were gonna go forward with it. So I think they've made it abundantly clear and that we will need to There will be, no.
changes.
No changes.
And that's fine. And it was something that we were doing, we thought that would actually benefit them,
Yeah,
right?
that was the idea.
We thought that they were,
Sign it.
we thought that they were fed up with people from, parking on their street
I didn't think
during
that.
concerts at Center for the Arts, but
Hey,
Uh,
I'm good with their idea.
no, it's, hey, their street. It's, there will be no changes.
They let us know and,
The way it's supposed to work.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I can see why you want all the vehicles to be parked on one side or the other.
Couldn't get a fire truck in there if you had to.
I mean, if you got them scattered on each side, that's a,
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah, well, yeah, this was, yeah,
the north side is already no parking.
Okay.
So, I'll just keep it as it is for now.
Cool.
That's what they want and we will listen.
that's exactly right. Anything else, Pat?
I think that's enough.
That's enough? Okay. Before we go to executive session, questions from the media?
Hi, yes,
Uh,
you've got a team today.
Sure.
So first, can I get a copy from you of the 150th proclamation and the climbing and heights policy, climbing and heights policy?
Yeah, we
So with the climbing and falls and heights policy, why is it important that you guys are passing? Or,
I think you have to renew it
Oh, okay.
every year.
it's a safety, it's a safety policy
yeah,
that we wanted to put in place. Let's see here.
Yeah, it basically said if you're gonna climb on something, put a harness on and do the right thing, make sure there's somebody there. And,
okay.
you're not supposed to be climbing up on a roof alone, that kind of thing.
Okay, climate falls away policy, there's that
Makes
one.
sense.
Yeah.
And then the proclamation.
I got it.
You got the proclamation, you got them both or?
150.
Yes, yep,
All right, thanks, Deb.
okay, thank you. So then, with the fire department elections, can I get the names and correct spellings of them? Okay,
Just remember, the vice president is not Nate Force. That's, they have to,
Vice president.
Yeah, they're gonna have a special.
they have to have a special election for that one.
Is there any idea of the timeline on that, when that'll happen?
I don't know.
No, not yet.
Okay, cool. Is there anything you'd like to say about either the fire department elections or the 150th anniversary of the fire department? It could be anyone, it doesn't just have to, I don't want to put all the pressure on him.
They'd like to hear.
No, we're very pleased with the election results. It's a great group of individuals. And as far as the 150th, it's pretty amazing, really. You think about the fact that, other large departments like Corbinville sprang from Homer. And I can't wait for the celebration thing that we're gonna do this summer. Looking forward to that.
Do you know when that'll happen this summer, or is it just?
No, I do know when that will happen.
July 22nd.
July 22nd, is that
I
what
believe that's the right date.
On the quarter potty rental.
Right? Yep, that sounds right.
Yeah.
20
Without that,
22nd.
Stop, stop.
Oh, the celebration stuff is gonna be the 22nd.
22nd,
Saturday.
gotcha. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
But the porta potties will be in place, but
Yes.
And then my last question is, talking about the brush and how there's only like, May is the month that people can put it out. What's the fall?
Oh, what is it? Usually October, yeah.
And then you also mentioned a compost site. Do you know where that is, or if it has like an official name that I can look up to find the
The
address?
Village compost site,
Yep, sort of behind the DPW.
and it's right behind the DPW on
Fulton Street.
Fulton.
South Fulton Street.
South Fulton
No.
Street.
North
North
Fulton.
Fulton Street.
it's also the site of the community garden.
It's also where the community garden is, yes.
But you're looking pretty good.
Well, then that's all of the
That's all you have?
Yep.
All right. All right, then, we need to go into executive session for personnel.
To discuss, motion to go into executive session per New York State Public Officers Law, Article 7, Section 105, to discuss the employment history of particular employees and corporation, and to discuss the possible sale of real property.
Very good.
I'll second that.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.